Salvete omnes, and welcome to Caesar's Gallic Wars, Book 5, Section 29. When last we left Caesar, we had a council of wars debating what to do about the speech of Ambiorix. And in Section 29, Sabinus is going to offer a differing opinion. So let us begin. Contra ea titurius sero facturos clamitabat cum maiores manus hostium adjunctis Germanis convenisset aut cum aliquid calamitatis in proximis Hibernis esset acceptum. So Sabinus Titurius spoke or shouted repeatedly, clamitabat, contra ea. So against these things, Titurius shouted repeatedly that they were facturos esse understood because this is an indirect statement, that they were acting sero, too late. Cum maiores manus, when greater bands of the enemy, hostium, with Germans having been joined, ablative absolute here, had come together, or when something of a calamity or some calamity had been received in the proximis Hibernis, in the nearest winter quarters. He said that the occasion or the opportunity for consulting, a little gerund there in the genitive, esse was brevem, short. So again, we're in an indirect statement here, so we have a bit of an extended indirect statement. The opportunity for consulting was short. He said that Caesarem, that Caesar, he said that he himself, arbitrari, thought that Caesar had set out profectum from proficiscor in Italiam into North Italy. Neque aliter canutes interficiendi Tascadium concilium fuisse capturos. That otherwise the Carnutes would have fuisse capturos, would have captured or seized a concilium, a plan for interficiendi, for killing, little gerund there, or gerundive, Tascadius. That otherwise the Carnutes would not have formed a plan, sorry, but I forgot the neque there, for killing Tascadius. Nor would the Eburones, si ille adesset, if he were present, would they come to the camp with such contemptione, with such contempt or disdain, nostri, for us. He continues to say that the hostem, the enemy, was non auctorem, was not the instigator, but that he was just looking, spectare, at the facts. Again, we're in an indirect statement here, continuing on with this extended indirect statement. That's why we see so many infinitives and accusatives. That the Rhine River, the Rhenum, that the Rhine River was Sabessa, was nearby. That the death mortem of Ariovistus and the superiores nostras victorias and our prior victories were a magno dolori, were a great pain or a great cause of pain for the Germanis, for the Germans. And again, we have an indirect statement here, and then here we have magno dolori Germanis, which is an double dative. Okay, he said that Galliam ardere, that Gaul was burning or was inflamed, Gaul which had been brought redactam under the power of the Roman people, with tot contumelis acceptis, with so many insults having been received, and had been brought under the power of the Roman people, and with its superiora gloria in military matters, with its superior glory in military matters having been extinguished. So we have an ablative absolute here from superiora to extincta, another ablative absolute with tot contumelis acceptis. Postremo quis hoc sibi persuaderet. Finally, postremo, who could persuade himself of this? Who could literally persuade this to himself? Sine certa re. Without a sure result that Ambiorix had resorted to a concilium, to a plan of this type. So who could persuade themselves of this with a certain matter, that Ambiorix had resorted to a plan of this type? Suam sentiam in utram partem. He said that suam sententiam, his own opinion, in utram partem, in either case, esse tutam, was safe. that if nihil esset, if there were nothing too durious, too unfortunate, cum nullo periculo, with no danger, that they would perventuros, that they would arrive at the proximum legionem, that they would arrive at the nearest legion without any danger, if there were nothing too unfortunate. That if Gallia omnis, if all of Gaul consentiret, united cum Germanis, with the Germans, that unam esse in celeritatem positam salutem, that their unam safety, that their one safety was placed in speed. He said that, he asked what the outcome, the plan, the concilium of Catae, the plan of Cata, and those who, qui deorum, disagreed with him, what the outcome, quem exitum, would be, what the outcome would have. In quo sine non praesens periculum, ad certe longinqua obsidione fames essat timenda. If there were not any danger, sine non praesens periculum, if there were not any danger at the present, but certainly that starvation with a prolonged longinqua obsidione, but certainly starvation with a prolonged siege was to be feared. Esset timenda. So there wasn't much happening, but if there was a prolonged siege, that there would certainly be starvation for the Romans. And so that is the end of Sabinus' speech. He is offering a different opinion. He's going to continue to press for departure, and then we're going to make a decision and see what happens in the end. Thanks for listening. Walete.